Let's just turn to the ACT health system itself. The Liberal opposition down there in Canberra, in the Australian Capital Territory government, Parliament, has called for a royal commission into Canberra's public health system. We know that waiting times have blown out. There are reports of bullying of nurses, toxicity in the workplace. Less than 50% of emergency department patients are seen within clinically recommended wait times. Only 36% of urgent patients are being seen on time. It's the worst performing jurisdiction in the country as far as healthcare is concerned. I could go on. What business does the ACT government have in trying to take over a private hospital when the public system it runs is such a mess?
Well, you've outlined it perfectly. And that's what I said from the beginning. Why would anyone trust them to run another hospital when they can't even run the one they've currently got? That March review that you referred to in March 2019, that was an independent review about the whole culture of the place. I mean, that was scathing. That was damning, incredible. And everyone knows in Canberra that if you want to get treated in an emergency, don't go to the TCH, go elsewhere. People in Queanbeyan, where I live, they say just go to Queanbeyan Hospital, far better. You'll get treated far better than you will in Canberra. So it's a real problem, and it's sort of it's just a nonsense argument. She came out, the minister, and said, "Oh well, we want a more integrated health system." Now, the first step that she did was to attack Claire Holland House, which is a revered institution for palliative care. She met, listen to this, Lyle, she met in a cafe, a boutique cafe with a few staff and said, "Oh, look, what we'll do here, the community palliative care will be done by us, and you guys, Claire Holland House under Calvary, you look after the institutional care." So straight away, she's talking about an integrated health system, but the first step that she takes is to divide the whole show up the middle. So if those two elements are not talking correctly, so you can see the incompetence. They don't even know the basics of how to run an organisation, let alone a medical institution.
Yeah, no, a real worry. And you mentioned Claire Holland House, which is a wonderful palliative care facility in the ACT. We were talking about the pro-life issue and the abortion issue as perhaps a motivation. Of course, the hospitals don't do abortions, yet that doesn't seem to figure in their reasonings. But of course, euthanasia is a big thing that the Labor government, the Labor Greens government there, supported sadly by the Liberals. That's the next big thing coming to the ACT. And of course, it would seem they'd also want to get rid of a hospital facility that wouldn't be willing to kill its patients by euthanasia.
Oh, yes, I think that's right. The VAD thing's definitely on the agenda. And, this is forcing people to do VAD and all this sort of stuff. We're seeing it around the country. It's not the answer to anything. Have a look at some of the evidence in the Netherlands and all those places where, people think that just by following some simple procedures, injecting people with things that people die easily, they don't.
Yeah.
Because people that have worked in the area, and I've worked in the area for over nearly 35 years now as a priest, when people at the end of death is a curious thing, and it eludes people. You think people are dying and they're not. You forget how strong the body is, resistantly strong against death. So this is not a solution in any way. No, what's the solution is palliative care.
Absolutely. Yeah. And look at this whole Calvary fiasco seems like the way that the Barr government, the Barr Labor government in the ACT is trying to clear the decks for its pro-death agenda, both at beginning and end of life.